Good afternoon. So this project is called Verbal. It's a medicinal plants and herbs database system made for web techniques and application. Basically, it's a searchable catalog of medicinal plants like turmeric, ginger, aloe vera, and etc., where you can browse, search, and read up on each plant's uses, how to prepare it, and its side effects. On top of that, there's a few full admin panel so someone can edit, add, or delete plant records without having to touch database directly. Now, here I'll go copy this link. I will go back and the verbal setup will be met with five requirements. First requirement, connect to MySQL, create database, create tables, insert categories, and insert plants. If you meet all five requirements, you'll be able to enter the website. When you open the website, you're met with a navigation bar, as well as the Browse Plants section and the admin panel. In the middle, as you can see here, is a search bar, where I can search for any plant. For example, aloe. As you can see, I was met with aloe vera. Now, here in the filter section, there's different types of plants here, as for example, flowers, herbs, root, tree, and vine. So when I click a plant, I will choose ginger. I will be met with this medicinal uses, preparation, growing conditions, and origin and availability. As in the section down here, you can see the side effects that can happen when you consume these plants. When I go a little bit down, I'll be met with the admin panel. In the admin panel, I'll be able to edit individual plants, for example, Vine. I will just enter the password, unlock. See, as you can see here, I can edit the plants, whether it's the origin, growing conditions, side effects, preparation, and etc. Another thing I can do is I can delete the plant. For example, flower. I can go and delete the plant. As you can see, the plant has been deleted. Now, as well in the admin section, admin panel, we have this add new plant section. Now here, I can add a plant that I want, plant of my choice. Now, if I don't have a common name, as you can see, there's a pop-up message that will show up. It will say the name is required. Now, I can go and add, for example, aloe vera. I'll save. It has been added. It has just been added. And if I go and search, this new section of aloe vera has just been added. I can also go back and delete it. Now, as you can see, when I search it up again, it's not gonna show up.
So I'm gonna explain the functions in the code, all of them. So I split the PHP files into two, the backend basically. So this is the main for the database, and this is the API which we pull from. So for the database, I use a PDO, PHP data object. This function get database, it pulls the database, and the function for the PDO is to use statement already like pre-prepared statement instead of making new ones on the spot to prevent that SQL injection. Yeah, and this is the setup one. It's basically lets you like install all the database, all the needed info with one click. We just open with the localhost here, this link right here. It goes to the selected path, as you can see, and it opens a setup one. All this PHP, the host, port number, user, and pass, and the database name. This is the HTML for the thing. This is where it connects. And for the database, we ran into this problem where when we tried to open the setup multiple times, we couldn't. So I had to, instead of assuming the table wasn't there, I had to prevent it. So this one here, drop database if exists, so it drops the database and it calls the database name from up there, which is verbal, as you can see, declared here on top. This is the plans, the info since we made this website to be mostly back-ended, as you can see here. And for the configuration, this one just is the config for the Zap app. Defines host, port number, name, user, pass. And we'll go to the backend now, categories. So for the categories, it's just the categories list. And this is the plans. We have two for a single plan for all the plans. This one just calls the database again, it puts the info and everything in, and the plant one is for single plan, the CRUD operation for a single plan. So if you want to add request method as well, post, get, as you can see, post, get, put, delete options. So we can add in the admin panel or edit or delete. As you can see, there's a function for each one. Insert into, you can just put the name you want, scientific name, everything. And now we have the index. It's mostly the design. I use the design for this is the index for the UI. For the logos and images, I downloaded them and I called them from the file path itself, icon.logo. And yeah, this is the class I used. And this is the hero section. And there's a navigation bar section as well. This one, as you can see. On click, reset view, on click, events. And this is the admin panel section. As you can see, all the things we need to implement, plant models, everything as well. There's not much talking I can do about the HTML. It's mostly the just the UI design. So, and here I call it JavaScript. This is the main JavaScript I called it right here. And let's go to it now. So we have the toast for the message. So if you don't put a name, let me demonstrate to you. If you when you add a plant and you don't put a name in here, you're required to put a name. So if you press save without putting a name, you can see here, name is required. This is the toast message it shows. This is the main first function here, and the loading function on load, it just toggles and shows, and truncate function as well. And this is the state for the API. It pulls the API from the backend file, and this is the image fallback. It calls all the image from the file. I have files here. It's called plan. This is the file I use for the images. And this is the images names. And it just calls them and put them in each file. We have this function. It loads data. It shows the data. As you can see, load data here. This is the filter function. It filters like from tree to sherp to anything you want. As you can see here, we can filter them all. This is what function do. And here you can search, do search function. It's in the hero, as you can see. It's case insensitive. I made it case insensitive because I didn't want people to think it's not working for them. So if you put aloe vera, if you press enter here, you get aloe vera. If you use a capital A, you still get an aloe vera. Let's say you refresh, you put all, and you still like aloe, all caps. You search here, you still get the aloe vera. This one renders the cards, render grid because I use grid in the index and the style CSS. It shows the grid and everything else. This one shows detail. As you can see, it calls the function here. And this is the divisions I call them from the HTML. This is the admin table. It renders it, items, everything, the table rows, data rows. As you can see for the name, scientific name. This is the password. The password is lab 2026. It's case sensitive for more security. This is the password callback, and it lists the admin authentication. It's false if the password callback is empty. If you don't put a password, it'll be false and won't let you in. This one checks for the admin. This is submitting the password. As you can see, this is the for the form and here. Okay, so when you add a plan, this is the form you get. This form goes back to the database, and as you can see, save. You need a name. You put a name. Let's say Lab 2026. Save. As you can see, this is the lab. This is the default picture for any new plant. It's also from the file. You can also delete the new one. Lab 2026. Delete. Okay, delete. This is also from the form. And save plant is a post or put method. The method is post. I use deleting the plant function. As you can see, fetch everything from the API. This fetches from the API in the backend here. This is the API section on top. This is the database section. And that's all for the main JavaScript. The style CSS, I don't think I need to say much about it, but yeah, it's very obvious. I just called the classes I made and I used them here.
So the whole thing is built with just vanilla JS, PHP, and MySQL. No framework, no template. We wrote every file from scratch. For the admin panel, instead of asking for the password every single time you click edit or delete, we made it once you type it in correctly, it remembers you for the rest of the session. So you are not stuck typing a password over and over for every single action. For setup, instead of just handing over a raw SQL file, we build it as an actual page that shows a green or red box for every step. So if something goes wrong, like MySQL not running, you actually know where exactly it failed instead of just getting nothing. And basically, the workflow works the same way everywhere. You click something on the page, it calls one of our own API endpoint that talk to MySQL through our connection file, and then the page just refresh itself with whatever actually in the database now. Now there is limitation. The biggest one is the admin password, just sitting there as plain text in the JavaScript file. So technically, if someone open DevTools and look at up the code, they can see it. I mean, but it's fine for a class project. Obviously, not okay for something real, but if we had more time, we'd move the password check to the backend properly.
In conclusion, our project Burble is a web-based medical plants and herbs database system that allows users to browse, search, and filter medicinal plants easily. The system is built using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, MySQL, and PHP. User can view detailed information about each plant such as its medicinal uses, preparation methods, and side effects. The admin panel allows administrator to add, edit, and delete plants recording using a password protected system. Through this project, our team learned how to build a complete web application from front-end design to back-end database management. We hope that Burble can help people easily access information about medicinal plants and herbs. Thank you so much for listening.